I don't know about you guys, but I've made quite a few communication mistakes myself over the past few weeks. And it's just the nature of the game right now, right? We're in a crisis, we're managing a pandemic, we're in a crisis state. So creating communication in times like this can really take a lot longer than it usually would. We need to think about being sensitive to everyone. We need to think about different constituents. There could be cultural differences and also different situations that the people that we lead are in right now. And we need to really be cognizant of all of these different lenses every time we communicate or write a piece of content. So I wanted to give you 3 tools to streamline your communication. The first one is value. When we're thinking about what we're writing, sometimes we forget to draw back into what it is we stand for. And I want to give a shout out to Cuomo right now, because this is a guy who knows where he stands. He's not afraid to let you know what he doesn't know, to tell you the truth and the not so easy truth at times. But he knows that in doing that, he creates an environment of trust and mutual understanding. Because he knows what he stands for and has his opinions dialed before he goes out there, he's able to be in front of so many people and continue to communicate and not have to edit himself all the time. He can just be raw and real because he knows what he stands for. And I suggest when you are writing your crisis communication plan and moving forward as this pandemic changes for you and your company, that you really think about that. Like, what is it we stand for? Who are we as a people? And how do we treat people in times like this? Really, we'll see the leaders of the day rising, and these are the moments that define our careers. The second one is to allow joy to be part of the equation right now. Cultures are created from the top down. And if you as a leader are showing up and are really in a fearful state and are communicating to your staff and your employees and your managers that there's a lot to worry about, there's a lot of unknowns, it's really important that you show up, and even if you don't know things, you communicate a sense of calm and even adding a sense of joy and giving people permission to find joy. The final one is communication. So what you want to do is really start to open up communication channels. So if there is industry knowledge that might be dormant right now, this is a great time to import some L&D thinking, get people doing skills sharing, training one another, setting up a buddy system. You can bring in executive coaching, trainers like myself, people to inspire and really invigorate the team. And then you want to do a lot of listening. So I would suggest getting on calls and Zooms with all of the heads of the company so you really understand what they need to best lead their people. And let that be what indicates and what fuels your communication plan, so that you're not just top down right now where you're like, this is what the stakeholders need, this is what goals we need to achieve, and this is how I'm going to communicate internally. No, it's more of really pulling up and saying, what does everybody need? And then responding with the correct communication once you've hit 1 and 2, where you're thinking about who you stand for as a company, as a people, and then 2, how to raise the energy and how to add joy, right? And really listening, so opening up those communication channels. Even though it seems as though expanding communication right now is not streamlining things, it will actually get you further faster in the long run. But you need to create almost a culture of communication right now, and even over communication, so that all the unknowns are taken away. There's still going to be unknowns, but you've communicated that these are the unknowns. I don't have the answers now. As soon as I have them, I'll tell you. And if you do that consistently, people will trust you. And I think of Dr. Fauci right now as an example of really impeccable leadership. There's nothing I wouldn't do to help him, right? I trust him. I trust that he knows how to lead right now. And I want you to think about this the same way when you think about your staff. You want to infuse so much trust in your ability to lead right now that they feel so safe that they'd do anything to help you. And when you can get that sort of leverage and devotion from your employees, you are sure to win. Like, I can guarantee you, you will win, because they're going to find solutions you can't. You're only one person. You need people like that in the company. So how do you create that? By acting like a leader today and communicating really well. So I'm happy to help. I'm around. I'm making myself available in the afternoons for calls, and I hope you found some value in this video today.